Welcome to Open Labs. In this tutorial, we're going to build a portfolio using Rails 5 and Bootstrap. The theme we're going to use is a Start Bootstrap theme called Freelancer, and you can download it for free online. I'll include a link in the description. You can see here it's a nice theme. It's got a nice area for a header image and your name, portfolio section, an about section, and a contact me form. So let's get started. The first thing we'll do is we will open up our terminal and we will create our new Rails app. I'll CD into the desktop and I'll create the new app by Rails new portfolio. Once that's complete, I'll CD into the new application. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up our post controller. So I'll create the controller with Rails generate controller posts. Next, I'll set up our routes. So to do this, I'll open up Sublime Text and I will navigate to our routes. So that's under config routes.rb. I'll take out these comments and I'll add resources, posts, and I'll set up our home page with root post index. Okay, cool. So now I will create our index and our show views for post. So under app views post, I'll create a new file. I'll save this as index.html.erb. I will also create a file for the show page. Save this as show.html.erb. And we will also use some partials in our application. To do this, I will create a new folder. I'll name it shared. And within this folder, I'll create a header.html.erb and a footer. Cool. So the first thing we're going to do in our Rails application is set up our template. So we're going to go to Start Bootstrap and find your way to Themes, Portfolios, select Start Bootstrap, and you can download the files. Once that completes, we'll open up the zip file. It should unzip and open up a folder. Perfect. Inside this folder, we have the CSS, the images, JavaScript files, and other files that make this theme run. So for our Rails application, we'll need to move over the CSS files, the images, and the JavaScript. So let's open up our application. I have mine saved on my desktop. Cool, perfect. So I will navigate to App, Assets, Style Sheets, and I will copy the CSS that is in the CSS folder and paste that here. I will also copy the images into App Assets Images. And I will also copy the JavaScript files. So JavaScript, I'll copy freelancer.js and Bootstrap validation. I won't copy the contact me JavaScript because I'm going to change that section to make it a bit simpler to set up and to use. All right, cool. So now if we go back to our application, we should add Bootstrap to our header and add jQuery to our header as well. So I'm going to search for Bootstrap CDN. Select this. And I'm going to copy this first section under Bootstrap CDN navigate to Sublime Text, open App, Views, Layouts, Application, HTML.erb, and I will paste the Bootstrap in here. And now I will look for Font Awesome and search Font Awesome CDN. We'll select the first link and I'll copy this HTML and I will paste this under the header as well. Awesome. So now we can run our Rails app and see, oh, not quite yet. So now we still need to import the actual theme pages into our application. So in the Start Bootstrap Freelancer download files, select the index.html file, and I'll drag that into Sublime Text. And I'm just going to copy everything, and I'm going to paste this all into our post index. This is our home page, so I'll paste everything into here, and then I'll start removing things as we go. So the first section I'm going to remove is the head, because we have that in our application.html.erb. Also can remove the body. So the navigation, I'm going to copy this and move it into our shared header. Save that. Return back to index.html. And now I'm going to copy the footer, and I'm going to move this into the shared footer.html.erb. Perfect. So we won't be using portfolio modals, so we can get rid of all of these. Whoop, all the way down. And we can get rid of body. Don't need this. Don't need the contact. We don't need the bootstrap. We added that to the header. And jQuery, we don't need that. We'll add that to our header as well. So we can save this now, and let's go to our application.html.erb. So now we want to make sure we include our header and our footer partials. So under application.html.erb, we'll write render shared / header. Close that off. And then below the yield, we'll render shared / footer. And we can save this. We return to the index. Let's just make sure everything looks cool. Awesome. So let's run our Rails server and see what things are looking like. So we can type Rails S to start the Rails server. And if we return to our web browser and go to localhost 3000, things are coming together. You see the images aren't showing yet because we haven't fixed those links, but we'll get to that next. So since we've imported our theme, let's initialize our Git and save what we've done so far. So type git init, git add, git commit -am, and imported bootstrap theme. Awesome. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to set up our post model. So if we go to the terminal and let's create our post models. Rails generate model post, and our post is going to have a title, and that's going to be a string. It's going to have a body, and that's going to be a text. Execute that, and you can see it created a migration file. If you'd like to view the migration file, you can go to app.db migrate, and you can see here it's creating a table called post, and it has a title that's a string and a body that's text. So we can go back to the terminal, and we can run rake db migrate to create this table. Awesome. So now if we view our schema, you can see that we have a table called post with a column title and column body. Perfect. So now let's close some of these files and let's set up our routes. Oh, we already have the route set up. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add active admin. So to add active admin, we first need to set up Devise. So let's go to our gem file and let's clean this up a bit. Okay, so we need to add the Devise gem. So let's go back to our web browser and let's search for Devise gem. I'm going to go to GitHub to get the latest gem. Okay, let's copy to clipboard. And we can paste that in here. So now we return to our terminal. We type in bundle install. And now Rails generate Devise install. Nice. So let's follow these instructions. The first one is telling us to copy this line and to paste it in config environments development.rb. So let's go to config environments development.rb and let's go all the way to the bottom and paste that line in here and save. We also need to make sure that we have our home page set up in our routes. We've done that. Perfect. So we also need to set up alerts for our application. So let's copy this and under app views shared, let's create a new file. Let's save this as alerts.html.erb and we can paste this in here. And now if we go to application.html.erb, let's render the alerts under the header so it shows up. Perfect. Now we can set up Devise for users. So we will type Rails generate Devise user. Created the migration file for the users. We can check that out under app.db migrate and the latest migration file. So we can run rake db migrate. Awesome. The next step is we're going to add the active admin gem. So I'm going to do a search for active admin and I'm going to go to GitHub for this one because with Rails 5 it's going to require us to use the master branch. So let's copy this, go to Sublime Text, paste this into our gem file. If we go back to the documentation, we can see that for Rails 5 we also need to add a couple of these other gems. So for mine, I found that I just needed to add this inherited resources and that solved it for me. If you run into any errors, you might want to try adding the rest of these gems and see how that works for you. So right under active admin, I'll paste in gem inherited resources, save that, open up our terminal, and I'll run bundle install. The next step we're going to do is run Rails generate active admin install. We're going to use active admin to manage our portfolio, by the way. So if you create a new project and you want to add that to your website, you sign in through active admin and you can create new posts, edit posts, add images, and just manage your application through that. It's kind of like WordPress but for your custom website. Okay, perfect. So those files have been generated. Now we want to run Rails db migrate. And now we want to run rake. Oop, we don't need to use rake anymore. In Rails 5, it's changed so you can run Rails instead of rake. So I think before we just ran, oh no, we ran Rails before. So now we can run Rails db seed, and this will create an admin at example.com with the password of password. So we can sign in to active admin with that example account. So we'll run Rails db seed. And now we can go back to our terminal. We can restart our Rails server. And if we go to our application and go to localhost 3000/admin, we should see the active admin interface. Nice. So admin at example.com, and the password will be password, all lowercase. Nice. So you can see we have a very basic dashboard. We can manage admin users, comments. We haven't set this up yet, so this won't work, but you can see the interfaces here. The first thing we'll want to do is create a new admin user. So you'll want to use your real email here. I'll just create this to show you how to do it. So create the new admin user. And once you do that, you can log out and then sign in with that new account. And then you can delete the admin at example. This will just make the application more secure. Nice. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up active admin so we can edit posts. So let's go back to our terminal. And we will type, let's clear this out. And we will type Rails generate active admin resource user. This will allow us to edit users. And then we'll do the same thing for posts. So if we refresh active admin, we should see users and posts at the top. Perfect. So you can see the interface. It's nice that we have a backend, but let's improve the look of this a little bit. So to do that, we will use a gem called active admin. First, let's save our progress. So git status, git add, git commit -am, added active admin. Okay. So now we're going to add a theme to active admin. To do this, we're going to use a gem called active skin. So gem active skin. Let's see if there's a Ruby gem for it. Okay, there's not. This should be fine then. In our gem file, we'll add this right below inherited resources. And we'll run bundle install. So this should have created a file for us. Oops. You go to app, admin, go to app, assets, style sheets, active admin .scss. We can delete all these comments. This is where you can edit your active admin interface. So we will make some changes here. Initially, when you add this theme, it will have a logo in the top left, but I don't want that logo, so I'm going to type skin logo none, and then I'm going to import our active theme using @import active skin. Save that, and let's restart our Rails server. And let's check out the new theme on our admin interface. So if we refresh this, oops, see I have a typo. So save this and refresh. Nice. You see the theme is much better now. Post users. Awesome. So let's save our progress again. Git status, git add, git commit. Added active skin theme. Okay, so if you go to post now and you try to create a new post, you will see we have a title and a body. But if you go to the template, you'll see we'll probably want to include images as well. So to include images, we'll need to install a gem called Paperclip. So go back to our terminal. To use Paperclip, you'll need to have ImageMagick installed on your computer. So if you do a quick search for ImageMagick, you can find the various ways to install it. I'm on a MacBook, so if you're on Mac, you can run brew install ImageMagick. If you're on Windows, there are various other ways to install it. You can go to this website and follow the instructions here, but I'll show you how to do it for Mac. So open up terminal and type brew install ImageMagick. So I already have it installed. If you don't, it may take a minute to download all the files, but once that's complete, you can add the Paperclip gem. So let's add Paperclip. So I'll do a quick search for Paperclip gem. Oops. And I'll scroll down. And I will copy this. And now in the gem file, I'll paste this right below active skin and save that. And now I will run bundle install. So for Paperclip, we need to add the image to our posts. So to do this, we'll run Rails generate Paperclip post and then image. Created that migration file to add the image column to our post table. So now we'll run rake db migrate to add this to our schema. Very nice. So let's go to app models post.rb, and inside of here we will go back to get started, and you can see in the quick start section it has this information right here that we need to add to our model that will be using Paperclip. So we can copy this example and we can paste it into our post.rb. So instead of avatar, we're calling ours image. You won't be using this default image, so we can remove that. And we can save what we have here. Okay, so now we can go into our post controller and let's make some changes to this. So we have an index page and we have a show page, and on these pages we'll want to display posts. So I'll quickly paste in the code that I have and then I'll explain it afterwards. Alright, so on the index page we want the post to be all posts and we want it to be ordered in descending order. So the most recent post will be shown first. Also on our show page we want the post to be equal to the ID, and we want at the bottom of our show page we're going to have other projects that we've worked on. So for this we want our post displayed in the most recent order. So we can save this, and now if we go back to our post.rb model, we can paste in validates title presence true. So when we create a new post we need to make sure that we have a title, and we also need to make sure that we have a body. So we can save this. We can save this, and if we go back to our terminal and if we restart our Rails server and we go look at new posts, if we refresh this page, we will see that we now have an image file name, image content type, and the file size and some other information for the image. This is nice, but we want it to be so there's a link or a button that we click on and we can select an image file from our desktop or a laptop or a USB. So to do this we'll need to add a form to our post.rb model. So in Sublime Text we will go to app admin. So if we go to post.rb and we get rid of all these comments in between, and here I'll paste some code I generated previously. So this will add the button to our new post, so that when we add a new post we'll have a button to select an image from our laptop or computer, and we'll be able to add it to our website. So if we save this and we return to admin new post, if we refresh this, we should see the button link. Perfect. So let's create a post. Post 1 content. And let's go with JavaScript. Create post. Awesome. So the post has been generated. So now's a good place to save again. So git add, git commit am, added image, upload with Paperclip. Cool. So the next thing we'll do is we'll edit our application so that our posts are loaded dynamically into our view, and so that when you click one of our projects it goes to a custom show page and it has links to other projects at the bottom of that show page. So for our show page we will be using another theme from Start Bootstrap. If you go to portfolios, you scroll down and select portfolio item, you can download this. Open up the zip file, and then you can open up your application just like last time. So here, let's see the CSS that's included. We have portfolio item.css. Let's add that to app, assets, style sheets, portfolio item.css. And that's all we'll need from this one since it's just one page. So we'll take the index.html and let's open this in Sublime Text. Select everything again, copy that. This time we will paste it into our app, views, post, show.html.erb. And like last time, we'll start getting rid of information we don't need. So we don't need the body, don't need navigation, just need page content. So we don't need the footer, don't need this. Okay, very cool. So we can save this, and let's close some of these other files. And now we can begin to edit our controllers. So in the index.html.erb, I've edited this page so that instead of having a row and all these columns and etc., we're just going to have one, and within that, for each post, we're going to create a column that's small, that's 4, and for each post, we're going to have a portfolio item, and inside a div, we're going to have a link to the image, etc. So I'm just going to select everything, delete it, and then paste in the code that I generated. I also changed the contact form so that instead of having a whole section where you type in your name, your email, all this, and have to set that up on the back end, to make this as simple as possible, it's just going to have a link on the Contact Me button, and when you click this, it'll open up the mail client on your local computer and will automatically address it to the email address that you choose, and will set up the subject line with custom text. So you can see that here. I have mail to. This is the email address that I chose. You can change this with whatever you'd like. The link text will show contact me. The subject will say, hi, please include your name and email address. So if we save this, now we can edit our show page. I also already edited this show page a bit so that it's dynamic. In the page header, instead of portfolio item, we'll link to our Rails post.title, and instead of the project description, instead of this lorem ipsum text, we will have some Ruby code that shows the post.body. And then at the bottom here, for related projects, we will cycle through the 4 other projects that we've created. So it makes browsing around your website just a bit more user-friendly. So I'll select everything, delete it, and then paste in the new code. So you can see here the post.title will load from the post with that ID. It'll load that title. It'll also load the image and project description. And the related projects, for each post, it's going to have a link to that post and also an image that's part of the class responsive and portfolio item. So if we save this and we restart our Rails server, and we go to localhost 3000, oh sweet, so you can see the post that we created earlier, and when you click on this, it opens up the custom show page with the post title, the post content, and related projects below. So let's create a few more posts so we can see how it looks. Okay, cool. So we created 2 more posts. If we go to localhost 3000, you can see on the home page now we have some more images that have loaded up, and if you select one, it goes to this custom page and it has the project description. I make dope shit. It has, this project is awesome, definitely want to hire me. And you can just add to this and change it around as you want, but you have a good starting point for your custom portfolio. So we're at a good place to save again. So git status, git add, git commit, and added custom post to pages. Cool. Awesome. So with that, you've created your portfolio using Rails 5, the latest Rails version, and Bootstrap, and now you have the knowledge to create more Rails applications using these free themes that you can download online. If you'd like to learn how to push your new portfolio to Heroku and add Paperclip with Amazon Web Services so you can store your images online, you can check out my course on openlabs.io, and there I'll walk you through how to do all that. Thanks for checking this video out, and if you enjoyed it, please give me an upvote and subscribe. Thank you.